About the friction, and we said that friction force is a force will arise between two objects in contact or in touch. The direction of the friction force in the opposite direction of the motion. In this lesson we will talk about the applications of friction in our daily life. Firstly, let's talk about the advantages. What the meaning of advantages of friction? Advantages mean the good uses for the friction, or that benefit which we will get it from the friction. For example, friction has many advantages like help us to control car speed and change its direction, or slow down the car and stop it. For example, while driving the car, I want to slow down this car, so I will use the brake. The brake make a friction inside the wheel. This brake will increase the friction force between the tire of the wheel and the road. When I increase the friction force, I will slow down this car and I can stop it. Also, if I want to turn right or turn left, I will use also the brake. So I will use the friction force and increase this friction force between the tire of the car and the road before changing the direction. Also, friction helped me to walk. I walk due to the friction between the surface of the shoes and the road. Also, the friction force will help me to hold things in my hand. I hold this cup, for example, due to the friction between my hand and the surface of this cup. Friction help me to light the match. Allow me to light the match. Why that happen? Because during the friction there is heat will arise, or the friction will produce heat and increase its temperature. This heat and increase in the temperature will burn the material of the match, so it will light. As we said, help us to walk because friction between our shoes and the ground prevent us from slipping down. So if there is no friction, I will slip down. Look at this washing machine. While this washing machine working, there is a part inside this washing machine will round and round, and during this rounding there is a friction will appear between the internal parts of this washing machine. This friction will increase in the temperature of these parts, so these parts maybe will damage, and this kind of disadvantages of the friction, so its bad things will come from the friction. So we can say friction raises temperature of the internal moving parts of machine more than a certain limit. So machines are damaged and a lot of money is wasted. Scientists said to prevent the damage of these internal parts of washing machine, we can make continuous cooling for these parts. That's all about this lesson. We talk about the advantages and disadvantages of friction. Thank you.